Today we've got the Mazda CX-90. This is Mazda's cream of the crop luxury model. This is an all-wheel drive model with the Sky Active PHEV engine. It's one of the nicest cars on the market right now. We're going to get into it, get into all the little features, show you under the hood, show you in the trunk, get it on the road, and tell you why this is one of the best cars you could buy right now. So, of course, on the top-of-line models, we're going to have a power liftgate here, which is great and convenient. And then in the back, we actually have quite a bit of trunk space and some fun little features. We actually have a little charging port here, a little 12-volt charging port here, so you can plug in your generator or whatever if you're going on a trip. And then these third-row seats will actually go down if you pull on this hard enough. I'm a little weak man, apparently. But there you go, and this one will also do it. You just pull right here and push forward, and there you go. You even have more trunk space in the back here. Of course, if you want the third row, you're going to have cup holders here. You're going to have USB charging. You can have the tethers with the seats down. So this back seat and trunk area is more than great enough for whatever you need. And even on the left side here, we have more. So you can see we have another AC charger. Just push that to enable it, and you're good to go. Up here is our power liftgate. But let's get into the cockpit of the car, where we have the real luxury features that Mazda offers. Now, this is one of the cleanest interiors in any Mazda. You have this gorgeous leather seating with this little suede almost. It's still leather, but it feels different texturally than the rest of the seat. We've got power seating, of course. And then here we have our memory seats. We have our power liftgate. We have memory seatings. We can set our seats 1 and 2 for 2 different drivers. Trunk button, and then, oh, okay, I'm beating on this thing. Then we have this right here, which is our Mazda security. If we could just turn that off if we want. Here is our steering wheel with all of our controls that we could need, from audio to changing the source to our cruise control settings. Here is our gauge cluster. This is all 100% digital. So this entire gauge cluster is going to be digital, which means you can actually change a lot on the gauge cluster. If we push info, you can actually see, you can change a couple things on this right-hand side. You can have the iActive status, which is the safety feature for Mazda. You can change it to a compass if you want a compass. You can have it off completely, or you can have information about your drive. So you have your miles per gallon. You can show your the battery life of the car, because this is a hybrid. It's beautiful hybrid. And then we actually have over here our Bose surround sound. So that's one speaker. We have a speaker up here. We have a speaker over here. And then, of course, speaker here and a speaker in the driver's door over here. So plenty of speakers for a great sound system. And then we have our automatic climate control. This is a beautifully laid out climate control. We have these very tactile and nice feeling automatic climate control buttons. They just sound good, they feel good. And then down here, as you put it on auto, it will actually automatically detect if you're sitting in a seat. And depending on where you put this, as you can see, that heated seat is going to go up or down automatically. See that? And now we have it on low. Let's turn it up, and it's immediately going to turn on that heated seat. It takes into account that the fact that it's 48 degrees as well, so it knows that it's going to be chilly. You also have a heated steering wheel, and you have your AC controlled seat. So that's great. But if you put it on auto, again, it's going to do everything from the climate control automatically to the seat adjusters. As you can see, when I turn that off, that turns off. We'll do it again. Let's watch here. There you go. So it does everything automatically for you. You have your rear climate control right here as well. You can turn this off completely if there's no one in the back, or you can hit this button, and this will bring up the control for the back seat, and you can control the back seat from here. Let's just turn it off completely. Nobody's back there. Then we have our 12-volt charger here. It looks very clean up here. This is one thing that I love about the CX-90's design. Not only do you have this wood finish, but so many cars have this big, bulky, gappy, weird-looking center console area with ports and plugs and all kinds of things. But this is such a clean design that it feels luxurious. This right here, of course, is your wireless phone charger, which is very handy. You have your Mi Drive, which is Mazda's own way of saying your drive modes. As you can see, as I push the button, then you just select different V modes: off-road, EV, normal, and sport. We'll keep it in normal. Then over here, we have our gear shifter, which is elegant, and I quite like the standard and traditional up-down gear shifter, but this one's pretty good too. It has a dedicated spot for park, which is over to the left. So if you pull this and push it to the right, you'll have reverse, excuse me, down for neutral, down again for drive, and then all the way back up and to the left is park. But if you put it into reverse, you can see up here we have our backup camera. We have two different backup cameras. We have our backup camera proper, and then our 360 camera, which is actually going to use the blind spot cameras on the car to simulate a 360 view around the vehicle. You can actually change the backup camera as well right here. If you, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. You push it like this. That's not a touchscreen. That will change the angle of the backup camera to a little bit lower view. This one's a wider angle. Of course, we have push button start. And then down here, if we pull the gimbal down, you have, of course, cup holders. But here is our infotainment control. Some of these Mazdas don't have the touchscreen, which is the one downside to this car. As luxurious and amazing as it is, the touchscreen does feel like something it should have, and it doesn't. But your controls are here. We have our navigation control, which this car isn't enabled with right now, but you can actually get an SD card to have navigation. You can push back, you can push home, you can push music. So all your controls that you would need are here. Then, of course, this is going to help you select things on the screen. As you'll see, let's push home, and then we'll go up. And as I twist the dial, you can see we're changing our layout to whatever we want it to be. And then we have our audio controls as well. But let's take a quick look inside this center console here. This is where I mentioned earlier all these ports. As you can see, we have our USB Type-C ports right here instead of cluttering up this center area. So they're in here. That's nice. But let's take a look, quick look at this infotainment system. There's a lot of little features in here. We've gone over quite a few in other videos, but I want to stress some in this one in particular. So for the information section, there's not much here. The information section is basically just all your little details of the car. So your drive, again, your drive efficiency monitor, it's just monitors, high voltage battery monitor. So if you turn them on, you can actually just see different little levels and monitors for the vehicle. So you can turn this on as you're driving if you'd like. Most people don't, because you don't need to monitor it that closely. Of course, entertainment is going to be your entertainment, your audio. If you hit menu, which is just by pressing that dial down, then you can bring up this whole list. This is a little convoluted, so stay with me here. If you go to entertainment and then you hit that button down, you can go to source list, and this is going to give you all your different sources, from Bluetooth to Pandora, if you love Pandora, XM radio. And if you go to Bluetooth, this is how you'll connect your phone. You can hit once you're in Bluetooth, hit it again, hit the middle button again, and then Bluetooth settings, and then there is your phone. You can just pair a new device just like that, or you can go to audio settings. Audio settings will be able to change how the Bose sound system operates, and then we can go back to home. So the communication is your phone, obviously. If you want to connect your phone, it's way easier just to do that. It's a little muddled to go through the entertainment, but you can do that if you want, and it will actually bring Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with you. Navigation is, if you have navigation installed. This car, of course, doesn't. You can get an SD card for most of these vehicles and be able to have navigation that way. It's just in the little center console area where those USB Type-C ports are. So if you go to settings, settings have so many little things. I'm not going to cover everything today because there are 1,000. This is our EV settings for our hybrid engine here. So we have our charging schedule. If you want it to charge at a specific time of day, you don't want to overcharge or undercharge it, you can actually set a schedule when it's plugged in to be charging, which is convenient, but I don't think most people need or would use that. You can actually do a climate control timer as well, which will allow you to adjust the camera temperature before you're driving. So you can actually set a timer for the car to activate itself. Like, hey, I get up at 7 a.m. and I get in my car at 7:30. I'm going to have it turn on at 7:20 and be heating up. You can have your little timer there, which is actually very convenient. I really, really love that, especially in wintertime, which it is right now. Most of these settings you don't need to mess with too much. Regenerative braking is one I think a lot of people do want to mess with, because this is going to control how much, as you're braking, it's sending to the battery. So if I'm braking, the vehicle will actually brake harder sometimes than you would expect it to send more charge to its battery. So some people like to turn that down to normal so it doesn't charge as much, so it doesn't brake as hard as you're doing it. Then you have in-vehicle settings. These are a bunch of little things. You, of course, have your active driving display. Up here, you can't really see it because it's right there. You can actually kind of see the 0. From here, it actually projects, as you can see, yep. It's a little projector right there that's going to project onto the from the dashboard, to the windshield, your speed, which is a very convenient feature. You don't have to be looking down constantly to see your speed. You can just barely shift your eyes and see it right there. So this right here is all your settings for that specifically. You can actually change how high up it is, how bright it is, and if you want it tilted or not. You can even change certain little things. So this will actually, you can actually have it display street names, because if you have navigation installed, it will display all of this stuff for you. And if you have Apple CarPlay, it will display this as well. You can have traffic sign recognition. It's really, really fancy and convenient. The center console display right here is just this infotainment system, so you can control this specifically, the brightness, the contrast, if you want it to be day or night. I love it at nighttime, so it's more black, but that's just me. We can go to sound settings. Of course, this is where you can control your audio, which we already kind of showed. But if you go down further, we didn't show this. This is Bose Centerpoint. This is Bose's surround sound. So if you go to Centerpoint and have it all the way turned up, which we do here, this is going to be the best, most immersive surround sound. Bose Autopilot is slightly different. Bose Autopilot actually adjusts the volume of what you're listening to how fast you're going. So if you're on the freeway, it's going to adjust that volume up a little bit to compensate for the road noise. So that's a nice little feature if you don't really want to control the audio too much. Safety settings, this is Mazda's specific safety settings. There's a ton here. Driver assistance, safety alerts, collision avoidance, view monitors, parking sensors. This vehicle is incredibly safe, one of the safest on the market, and you can control basically every single feature through these menus, which is very convenient and very comforting. It gives you a lot of peace of mind. You have safety alerts, which you can also control. So if you have cars in your blind spot or that are crossing traffic that maybe you didn't see or saw too late, this car will actually yell at you. It will put flashing on screen, and it might even brake for you in some emergency settings. And you can adjust all that here. Some people don't love to be yelled at by their car, because for whatever reason, so that you can actually change that if you want. But I love to keep them on personally. Collision avoidance, we actually mentioned a little bit. This is the emergency braking. Lane keep assist system is going to keep you in your lane. If you're swerving a little bit, the car will automatically adjust to keep you in your lane. It's turned off right now, but most of these vehicles are going to have it turned on. Some people don't love it. I actually don't personally love it, because I'm usually in a lane, or if I'm trying to get onto a shoulder to get into a emergency lane or out of emergency's vehicle, or into a exit on a freeway, sometimes the car will try and pull you back onto the freeway. So personally, I actually like to keep that turned off. Smart braking is nice though. As you're backing up, it will actually brake for you if you're not paying too close of attention and get too close to a car. Of course, again, we have blind spot detection. We have road keep assist, which is similar to lane keep assist, except it's if you're on like a residential road or on a road that isn't exactly well paved. If you're coming off of it a little bit, it will help you get back on, which is nice. But again, that's another feature I don't personally love. This is driver fatigue. So if you're tired, it can actually detect if your head's bobbing like this. Oh my gosh, I'm bobbing. It will yell at you. So don't do that. Don't drive drowsy, y'all. That's just stupid. View monitor, you can change a bunch of settings here if you'd like. I personally keep these mostly on standard, default, but they're there if you'd like them. Parking sensors, again, I'm just going to keep these on default. Most of these are very, very good and very helpful. Pedal misuse, I don't personally love. It's a very nice feature for younger drivers. It's basically if I'm driving and then I go whoopsie and I accidentally hit both at once somehow, it's going to yell at you and say, hey, don't do that. Don't be dumb. So it's good for younger drivers who are just naturally dumb because they're inexperienced. So yeah, I turn it off, but if you have a young driver, turn that bad boy on. It's going to be very helpful. You can change the interior lighting in here. We actually have, of course, lighting all over the place. Up here we have a couple lights, and then down here we have a couple lights, but you can actually change what those features are there. Exterior lights, you can change the headlights from if you want your running lights on or off, stuff like that. Rain sensing wipers I personally very, very much enjoy having, so you can turn those on and off here, but you can also, if you look here, you can actually turn that on and off here. So if I pull down, now that rain sensing wiper is on auto, and you can change the intensity, of course, right here. So this is nice to have. Keep it on auto. Rain sensing, it'll just do everything for you, which in an age of convenience, I love that. You can also change a bunch of other features there, which we're not going to go into. Connectivity settings, we've already covered that, is the, of course, Bluetooth settings and such. System settings, there's just the basics here. You can change your clock, you can change your language, you can change the temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius, the speed from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. So if you're leaving the country or if you're more familiar with that, you can change that there. So that's most of these settings, basic settings. They're all very good, very intuitive. They're hidden in some menus, which is why I wanted to point some of them out. But let's get this on the road. And there's a little speed bump, barely even felt it. Car responds super, super well. It's very comfortable too. This is the perfect commuter car, in my opinion. It's good for your entire family, as again, it has a third row. So you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in this bad boy. And it's a hybrid, so you're going to get incredible fuel efficiency with the PHEV motor. So you can actually get some juice behind your acceleration, as you can hear. Let's go over this couple speed bumps and show you how it handles them. And I think it handles them very well, as you can see on that first one. Let's go over the second one. I'll keep quiet so you can hear it. It's really a beautiful ride, and for the cost of this vehicle compared to other luxury brands, I think this blows them completely out of the water. If you love this car as much as I do, and I know you do, come on down to Santa Fe Mazda now to pick it up, or we'll have it shipped to your house today.